Sean Keach is back with us. Sorry about that, he just turned up. So, Head of Technology at the Science at the Sun. I apologise. We've got a lot of stories to look at here, but I do want to just ask you something. You may or may not know the answer to this. And that is, why do we still have junk mail? Why do we still get bombarded when you would imagine right now, I get about half a dozen of these a day. They clearly probably come from the same place. They're either trying to sell me solar panels or health insurance or some pet care or something like that. And the email addresses they come from are clearly, they use almost every letter of the alphabet. Yep. And it says .eu or something at the end. And you think, how does the Apple algorithm not clock that and go, this is clearly rubbish?
It's a nightmare. There are so many problems with this. It's not just email either, it's text. You get it on the phone calls, and they're trying to fix it. There are new features coming out for iPhone later this year that are going to detect spam calls and warn you about them. Google has similar features for Android phones. So these companies are working on it, but it's so difficult because it's a game of cat and mouse, and they're constantly trying to evade the system. So I don't think you'll ever solve it.
But
really.
Even it might just be able to put into the algorithm, right? If an email address looks like this, it's clearly not someone's, and if it's connected to flogging an item, it's definitely not someone's.
The Google system is actually quite interesting for texts, because if it thinks that you're having a text conversation with a scammer live in real time, it'll warn you. It'll come up with a little pop-up and say, we think this is a scammer, stop texting them, which I think is quite interesting, and that obviously uses AI. And so I think probably AI is the best chance of doing this, because it can pick up those signs that you're conversing with the scammer.
It would just eradicate
shut it down.
Scamming immediately, at some point.
But the scammers are using AI too. This is the problem. It's AI versus AI.
Yeah, there's a big battle here. Every now and again you get one that's clearly and demonstrably so badly written it is a scam. I mean, there's one, your cloud is about to expire. It's like my cloud. And then there's a sort of really badly drawn picture of a cloud, and it's written just clearly by some.
But the crooks are using, ChatGPT to craft these increasingly convincing emails now, and I think this is the problem, is that it's not just some random person in a third world country, that's in one of these bot farms trying to scam you. They're using AI to make it, perfect English, very convincing.
I get diesel vehicle claims. There's another one. Craft selection. Kate from Tails. That's not a true one. There's a carpet company.
What if they're real and you're missing out on millions, Ian? This is the problem.
That. Here's one. I've got solar funding. I can get this message has no content, so I can't read that one. Tesco shopper has a surprise for you. You want my money, you thieves, because it's not really from Tesco.
I had one that I nearly clicked on the other day, and I'm usually very cautious about this, but I had one saying that I'd bought a product that had been recalled from Amazon, and I buy a lot of stuff from Amazon. I was like, oh God, have I bought like a dodgy... Because also we write about recalls a lot too, exploding power banks, and I was like, oh, I bought something that's going to catch fire. I went to click it, and I had to stop myself, but it was the closest I've come to falling into the hands of the...
But if you just click it, is that, as long as you don't pursue it or put any information in, does that do anything, just clicking it? Does it tell them that you've acknowledged it?
It depends on the scam. So firstly, yes, it does tell them that you've acknowledged it, so then that can put you on the hit list because they know it's an active number.
Correct.
It's that same thing of when you answer the phone to unknown numbers, you're not supposed to speak straight away because then they know it's an active number. Wait for them to speak. So that is one thing. It depends if they found like a loophole in your operating system. So, like if it's iOS or Android or Windows or whatever it is, sometimes just clicking it is enough to put some malware on your device. Often what it is it'll just take you through to a website where it's designed to trick you into entering your login details. But sometimes just clicking is enough. So, I mean, be super, super careful. But it's hard, you're right. AI is being used to craft this stuff. It's very convincing. And
absolutely.
It nearly got me.
It nearly got you. Well, I got one the other day, and I've had it about 3 times this one, that my road tax is due. You've better fill out the forms to the DVLA. And the DVLA has a very interesting email address for the DVLA. It doesn't mention DVLA in it at all, and it just has these weird kind of bits of symbol and multiple letters. But
these are sophisticated schemes. They can tell which types of scams people are clicking most. So it's almost like running a website. They're like, people are really interested in this. People are clicking this scam all the time. Let's do more of that. And so, it's
I'm
very
never
difficult.
interested in paying road tax, even though I have to. So.
There you go.
Let's move to this story, though. Age verification has reached a new pivotal point, I think, tonight.
At midnight tonight, there's new rules that come into force, and it's basically going to force any website that's showing adult content. So that is pornography, but it's also anything that's sort of harmful in relation to self-harm or eating disorders or suicide. If that stuff, so if you're running a social media site and that stuff is showing up, you need to check the age of people coming onto your website. And pornography sites will also need to do this too. So from midnight tonight, say you want to go onto one of the leading adult websites, you will be forced to verify your age. And that could be through a number of different ways. It could be showing your ID. It could be doing a scan of your face. It could be connecting your credit card so that they know you're 18. So a bunch of different ways to do this. Obviously, you know, this is going to set off privacy alarm bells for people.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't worry too much about that because the website themselves aren't seeing that information. So it's usually a third-party service. So I don't know if you've heard of Yoti. Yoti is one of these big services. It scans your face, estimates it. If it thinks you're an adult, it then passes a check back to the website that says, yes, this person is over 18. They don't know who you are. The website isn't keeping a log of, you know, who's adults and who's not. It's just a yes or no, is this person over 18?
So you couldn't just, if you're a teenage boy and want to look at some little titillation, legal stuff I'm talking about here, although it would be illegal if you weren't meant to look at it, but you take my point, you couldn't just grab your dad's driving licence and stick it
No,
on
because
there.
so if it's an ID situation like that, you will also have to do a face check, and it's usually a live face check. So what will happen is that you'll have to get your camera out and you'll have to sort of wiggle your head a little bit to show that you're a live person, so that you can't just, you know, hold up a picture of someone old and sneak through. I think that the way people are going to get around this are with VPNs, which, you know, a very popular type of app. A lot of people use it for illegal streaming.
Yeah.
So it's an app that it encrypts what you're doing online so that you know, you can't be spied on. But it has this other sort of perk that lets you trick your internet provider into thinking you're in a different country. So you could be from somewhere outside the UK, and people are going to use this to get around it. But Ofcom is hoping that this is a small number, and actually they're saying that the majority of people that are accidentally viewing adult content online are just doing it through websites like Twitter or X, you know, where they go on and it just shows up in their feed. And that's more of the thing that they want to crack down on, is this sort of accidental.
So this is porn, self-harm, those kind of websites.
And Ofcom is saying that around 6,000 websites, adult websites, pornography websites, have already agreed to do this, because obviously the rules kick in from midnight. But it's also websites like Reddit or you know, Twitter/X. If you go into those, and sometimes it shows up in your feed. That won't happen anymore. If you want to see adult content on Reddit, for instance, you will then have to verify yourself. So you'll still be able to get onto Reddit. You can still view all your, you know, cat memes or whatever. But if you want to view the adult side of that website, you will then have to age verify, or you'll be completely blocked from accessing it.
That's going to be interesting or worrying to some people. I'm just going to ask, and I'm only asking really for a friend, will funoctogenarians.com be affected by this?
You're going to have to verify your age for that, and you know, you might have to say you're 80, I don't know, to get on that website.
Yeah, it's devastating news. Let's move to this story. Ways people can save money with tech this summer. What's going on here?
So we have on the Sun Club membership scheme. It's full of exclusives, ways to save money. It's a brilliant membership scheme. It's a couple of quid a month, and we've been doing a Sun Club summer special series. It's about a dozen articles of loads of different ways you can save money over summer. Obviously, lots of people at home, you know, looking after kids, and so you know, you want to maximise your cash because it's, you know, cost of living crisis. So as much money as you can save, and we've been coming up with loads of different ways that people can save money. And one of the main ways actually is checking your phone network rewards, because people really miss this stuff, all these deals and bundles and offers that you're already entitled to because you're paying for your mobile phone bill. So for instance, with 3+, which, you know, 3 customers get, you can get £1 coffees, you can get £3 tickets to the cinema, 15% off clothes. If you're a Vodafone customer, you can get access to Very Me Rewards, which is a great app. You can get 50% off zoos and theme parks, so that's great if you've got kids. If you're an O2 customer, you can get free snacks from Greggs. Who doesn't love free snacks from Greggs? Brilliant. And if you've got Sky Cinema, which is you know, one of the add-ons for Sky TV, you can get a pair of free cinema tickets every month to view cinema, which actually is, you know, pretty good. You've got a mate, bring them along.
There must be, you know, there's people that go in for competitions almost professionally. They do it all the time. I think there used to be a magazine, I'm sure there's more than one online, where you can just keep trying to win a car and all the rest of it. Obviously, it's collating data and there'll be some iffy ones out there, but there's bound to be people who really take the whole offer thing seriously and seek it out. Because it's amazing. I went to buy something online. It was a jacket. This is about a year ago. And as I went to pay for it, it said have you got a promotion code or something like that? So I went back to just the browser and I put in that company and wrote the word promotion code, and it came back with a code, and I chucked the code back into the thing, and there was about 25–30% off or something.
I think
I don't know where that.
But there's that crushing disappointment of when you go to do that and you can't find anything, and
there's
you're
no
like,
code,
and you
yes.
or you see like an expired code that expired a few days ago, and you're like, oh god,
all of that,
if only
isn't
I'd
it?
just bought it a few days
But
earlier.
the point is, it's, you know, if you look for it, it's amazing actually what is out there, because you don't get much free these days.
There's a great app called Olio, which basically is like a hyper-local finding free stuff in your neighborhood. So, you know, someone's got some bread that's about to go off that they're not going to get through, or someone's baked a load of cookies for a party and they've got spare cookies, and so you can pick stuff up. It's meant to be on your street or down the road. There's another app called Too Good To Go, which is more for supermarkets trying to get rid of some of their stuff on the cheap, you know, if it's about to go out of date, which is really good, you know, reduce food waste. You usually get a bag from them for, you know, £2, £3, £6. It's not always just supermarkets either. Sometimes it's restaurants or whatever in your. So check your area, because you might find that you can eat for pretty cheap or even free. And who doesn't love free stuff? I love free stuff.
Free meal, that's all right, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Over there at the Dorchester or something. I bet they're not on there. And this one as well, apps that will get kids moving. What's going on here?
Oh, absolutely. And there's loads of great games out there. I think the one that springs to mind for most people is Pokemon Go, which obviously, you know, you walk around, collect Pokemon, but that's been around for a while. And I think there's a better option called Merlin, which actually isn't a game, but I think can be turned into a game. So if you've got kids, Merlin basically identifies birds from the noises. So as you're walking around, it will listen out for the birds, and then it will pop up with the birds that it's hearing.
Right.
So you can turn it into a kind of Pokemon-style game with your kids. You can go for a long walk, go outside. It'll even flag when you're seeing rare birds. And so you can sort of treat it like Pokemon, where you're trying to collect all the birds.
So it picks up the little squeak.
Yeah, so it's actually...
what's it called? The bird song.
Yeah, the bird song. So it's from Cornell Lab, and it's, you know, scientists have made this. And I've tried it, and it picks it up instantly. It's really, really impressive. Chris Packer would be very jealous of of the bird app.
Surprised
really
he's not
quick.
the face of this. What's it called? Merlin?
Merlin, and it's really good. It'll get kids learning about birds and nature, and also, you know, it sort of gamifies going for a walk. So if you're struggling to get your kid out for a walk, but it's also fun for adults too. And you know, you learn the bird songs, and you'll be a pro birder in no time.
That's quite effective, isn't it? Because it is you know, it's one of those things that you don't realise how much wildlife is in your back garden.
I mean, you can use this in your back garden.
Until somebody points it all out. Of course you could. Because I just think there's like pigeons and those blackbirds.
And sometimes the apples show a rare bird and you can't see it, and you're trying to hunt it down because you can hear the noise. So, you know, it's thrilling stuff.
It's a great moment, isn't it, when you hear an owl?
Oh, yeah, lovely.
Anybody say, you actually hear a real owl in the way, you go, wow, there's an owl. Where's the owl?
You've got to get out in the evening with Merlin, sit in the garden.
You've got to get out,
do a little barbecue, it'll be lovely.
And these aren't all paid for apps. Some will charge you a fee, some will have sort of in-app purchases, but there's a lot of free stuff out there as well.
Yeah, loads of free stuff. So Merlin is free. There's lots of different ways of getting TV for free too. So Disney Plus you can get for free if you're a Club Lloyd's member with Lloyd's Banking. Tesco Club Card members can also get discounted Disney Plus. Apple TV is really easy to get free. If you bought an Apple device recently, it should come with several months free Apple TV as well. But if you're a student, you can get Apple TV for free with the music subscription. So that's another great way to get it. Amazon Prime as well, you can get half price if you're a student or 18 to 22 years old. So if you have a youngster in your house or someone that's at uni, that's a great way to get Amazon Prime for half price, and then you get the TV subscription with it.
Wow. See, there's all of this stuff people don't know. I mean,
it's hiding, it's lurking in the apps.
Martin Lewis used to talk about this a lot, but he would say, look, if you want to get a cheaper phone contract, all you got to do is join a gym, and do 28,000-mile marathons, and then Vodafone will give you 6 months for, or something like that. But the really good stuff, I discovered the other day, I think on Deliveroo, that if you with Amazon Prime or something, do you get free delivery or something?
Yeah, you get free delivery on restaurants over, on orders over £15 from restaurants. So it's Deliveroo Silver Plus. You get a year's membership for free. Normally it's about £3.50 a month. So, you're saving 40, 50 quid a year with this, which is, pretty good.
It's worth doing, isn't it?
Oh, 100%. I think people need to go into the accounts that they're already paying for and look at the perks, because all of these websites and apps are very competitive, so they almost always have really good perks that people are missing. You just have to get in and you'll undoubtedly make savings.
We talked about a lot here. Where can people people find a little more of this information, Sean? Where's the best place to look?
So if you go to the Sun Tech, you'll find loads of ways to save money with tech, but also if you go to the Sun Club section on the website, there's really, really good deals, exclusive content. It's only a couple of quid a month, and you'll potentially save hundreds or even thousands with some of the tips and tricks on there. It's, it's really, really good stuff, and I can't recommend it enough.
Brilliant. Sean, thank you.
Always good to see you.
Sean
Nice
Keach back with us on the programme, Head of Technology and Science over there at the Sun. Thank you to him.